This is the Chuck Benson Show. It's a big week of basketball for Carson-Newman at Holt Fieldhouse. The Eagles begin a stretch. 5 out of the next 6 are within the friendly confines of Holt, including a monster of a game. Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Be there wearing your brightest orange and blue. The number 8 Lincoln Memorial Rail Splitters come in. A, it's a rivalry. B, it's a game against a top 10 team. The Rail Splitters have won 13 straight. They're 17-1 overall. And probably the most impressive thing about this team, a 12-game road winning streak dating back to a February loss at Catawba last year. Chuck, what is it about this Rail Splitter club that is most impressive to you?
Man, they've got a little bit of everything. They've got good players. They've got veteran players. They've got a really good, solid defensive team. They've got a great, very efficient, inside-out scoring offense. They've got great leadership from their head coach and staff. I can't sit here and tell you that there's anything about them that is obviously a problem. And so we know that will be a challenge. But I like where our guys are at. It's funny. I mean, we've started the week of practice, and honestly, we're going to go through our preparation as we would any game. But we're not going to go over the top and make this into the end-all, be-all of all games and make this a holy war or anything. It's another game, another preparation. I've got confidence in my guys and feel like that. I mean, when we take the floor to play anybody, we intend on going out there and performing in such a way that gives us the best chance to win. And I have every reason to think that we'll do that come Wednesday.
They've scored more than 85 on 4 straight occasions, and more than 85 5 of their last 6 games, and do so with a variety of scores. Vinny Bailey's been the man with the hot hand of late, reigning sack player of the week. Only averaged 30 points and 12.5 rebounds over his last 2 games.
He's outstanding.
Yeah, and then you've got 2 other guys who have 30-point games to their name this season, in Chance Jones and Laquan Choice.
Yep.
Just how do you slow down the totality of LMU's offense?
Well, this is gonna, it's gonna be a challenge. Obviously, they've got really good balance, but we spent a great deal of time evaluating tape the last day and a half or so. Went into practice with an outline of a game plan, sought the input of our players who have to execute the game plan. Actually watched a little tape of them today as well and got feedback. So we're all on the same page in terms of belief and buying and what we're going to do strategically. It's just a matter of us executing. Now, how do you go out there and and try to stop everything? You can't. We're not going to do that. We've decided how we're willing to die. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to go in there and we're going to stay true to our plan, and it's probably going to end up being a good old-fashioned face-off, and it's going to be like a big old game of chicken. Who's going to stay strongest to their plan the longest? And we feel pretty good what we're going to do defensively. And then I know some people have thrown it out there that you go out there and you try to fight fire with LMU. You go out there and you try to play ball control. And, again, we know what we're going to go with. And I think when we are making shots with what we do defensively, I think we're capable of beating anybody, any place, anytime. And so it really we're going to put it back on them to have to come here and try to stop us from putting the ball in the basket. And we're going to take the fight right to them.
The thing about your teams, especially over the last 2 years, Holt Fieldhouse has been a special place to play. Last year, though, LMU came in and made something like, I don't remember exactly what it was.
Oh,
15 of 17 of their first shots.
They were unconscious. I mean, it was as one-sided a rear end kicking as you could possibly take, and for our kids to have to go through that. I didn't like it for them. I didn't like it for myself, our staff, and our institution for that matter. But it maybe long term it helped us because it allowed us to learn and grow, and they have the potential to do that. I mean, look, I can't sit here and tell you, like I said to start off with, that
Yeah.
there's nothing about them that stands out and says, aha, there's the weak link, there's the chink in the armor. It's just not there. They do everything pretty dang good. But we've got to go in with the confidence that what we do is pretty good too, and go out there and execute on both sides of the ball with the confidence and knowing that if we do that, we give ourselves a legitimate chance.
If there is one thing that, I mean, obviously you say make shots. Do you try to go firepower for firepower with them, or is it something that what do you do to dictate how
Well, like
the
I
game
said,
is played?
there are two really opposite ends of the spectrum here. You try to go head to head, or you try to ball control. And I'm not going to put it out there exactly what decision we've made, but we've made a decision. And the most important thing whenever you're making decisions with a team is your buy-in and your belief. And on both sides of the ball, our guys believe in what our strategy is. We seek their input on this stuff regularly. We don't go out there and Coach Williams and I and Coach Gore, we don't put together a plan and say, okay, guys, this is what we're going to do. Now you go do it. We'll ask their opinion. What do you all think? What do you think about this? What do you think about that? How do we do this? And we've got kids we trust, and we went through that process like we have in other games, and asked for where we stood with it, and that's how we made our decision. Now, at the end of the day, do I have the ability to do whatever as the head coach I would want to do? Yes, but we feel like this is a team. It's a team thing. It's really a team strategy, a team decision, and we want everybody to be on board. So, there's a wide range of philosophies on both sides of the ball, but I feel really good with the decisions we made.
How much do then last year's results, beat you 3 times, dictate what you do this season?
Well, I mean, anytime, Josh has been there for 5 or 6 years, I guess now, at LMU, and I've been here 4, and we've had 3 years of going head to head. And so, whenever I'm putting together game plans, I'm thinking, obviously, what is the team that we're playing showing that they're doing now in this particular season. But also, I'll go back and look, just like I've done for this LMU game. I've looked at what they've done going into tomorrow. So, our scouting report will have what they've done this year. Then we have an appendix with that showing here's what they have also done. And thankfully, our guys, because they're only a limited number of things teams do against zone.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, once you get those 5, 6, 7 concepts down, it's just more or less a variety of those concepts, and or teams selecting portions of those, and so our guys know they'll know going in. Here's what you can sort of expect from LMU. The thing with LMU though, in particular, that's obvious. They want to get the thing inside.
Yeah.
I mean, Vinny Bailey ain't getting 30 and 12 because Ross and Jones and Pierce, those guys are shooting 37 threes. Bailey's getting his because they're giving him the basketball, as they should, because he's arguably the best player in this conference. So we know what their strategy is. They want to get the thing inside, and then they want to go and just cut your head off on the rebounding side. And with a plus 16 rebound margin, which is unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got to do a great job there, and in all honesty, that's not a strength of ours. It's the way that we defend in that zone. It's rebounding is a little bit of a liability there, and the sheer fact that we're so concerned with defense transition, a lot of times we don't send a great number of players to the offensive boards. So we sort of hurt ourselves both sides of it. It's not that we make a big deal about rebounding, but we know LMU does, so we've got to try to sort of cut down some of their numbers and limit their easy second and third shots.
Well, how much would a solid crowd mean Wednesday night at Holt Fieldhouse?
Well, I think it'd be big. We've been really fortunate. I think our home games we've had this year, we've had really good turnout.
Mm-hmm.
Alan Morgan, in Alan Morgan fashion, tried to go today with myself and Mike Mincy to the cafeteria and start putting the word out to the student population that, hey, Wednesday's a big game. I want you to come out and support. And I'm hoping that we have great turnout. I really suspect that we will. I know LMU travels well, particularly for this game. And so they'll bring their guys and gals down here to support their team. But I've sort of liked our home court atmosphere, and just some of the feedback I got both in the cafeteria today in Stokely, and then later on in the day I saw some other students that spoke up and said, hey, we're going to be there, and they even were referencing some previous games both this season and seasons past. So I think we'll have a great turnout.